If you haven't seen the previous chapter, look in the description. The pandemic era was still happening at this point, and that means more chronically online activities to note. Spanning from January to February of 2021, CSB would be created through the merging of SFS and SLS. Faction Marriage is now canon! February 28th had another unfinished mech tournament hosted by a player named Armor. Jumping forward a bit, on May 9th, 2021, chat triggers are added which turn on parts upon receiving a certain chat message from you alongside the now removed death trigger and still in-game button on the 12th. May 24th saw the addition of the anti-gravity part and zero-gravity part being capable of floating and ignoring gravity, respectively. Looks like Viz is vanishing again for this bit. Goodbye, Viz.
In Brazil.
May 27th sees another fairly important drama-centered faction founded by player The Real Proalt called the Anti-Cancer Regiment, or ACR, a faction that was dedicated to fighting cancer with stronger cancers. The group was first made to gather evidence against the player Versamir, who was intentionally degrading server performance to every server he joined, also overall being a nuisance to everyone he ran into. Here is my interview with Proalt. Question number 2. Why did you make ACR?
So I don't know if you remember Versamir, but Versamir, he was a guy, kind of a jerk. So basically, he would go on public servers, launch these really annoying drones that you couldn't really dodge unless you had a very specific creation meant to do that. So what we did, we really got tired of it, so we went ahead, made ACR, and got him banned. But then after that, we realized, hey, this is kind of a reoccurring issue, and we are all here already, so let's just remake it. Or turn it into a group, and that's how it started.
Also, if I remember correctly, ACR was rebranded to ACR, and before that it was Anti-Versamir or something or another.
Yeah, no, it was banned Versamir beforehand.
May 29th of 2021 saw the addition of the Goal Compass blocks, which allows pathfinding AI to be created by players, or to create even larger swarms of drone builds. It's pretty powerful, so it got abused by a bunch of people for giant drone swarms. On an unrelated note, June 17th, 2021 is highly important. The first timeline-noted large-scale war between a faction and non-faction group, which I will call the first Great Lag Bomb Raid. A lag bomb is a build created for the main purpose or sometimes unintended purpose of degrading server performance or outright crashing them. This raid was executed by a group of people with flavorful naming schemes, all of whom carried devices to crash public servers en masse. They were reported by nearly everyone involved, hunted down by the ACR and potentially HA, though I only remember the ACR really being involved. Xenovius banned each lag bomber account, though one decided to expend alternate account after alternative account to stay in the game.
You fool! I have 70 alternative accounts!
He would continue to cause problems. To this day, none who have really reflected on this event are sure if the other users were that one guy's alt accounts but being used by someone else, or if it was all just one guy on multiple clients of Roblox at once, or if it was just a group raid where they avoided using their main accounts to remain anonymous while having a bit of a laugh. In the end, they all ended up banned the day after and remained on a blacklist in even EE to this day. Late 2021 had 0 updates, so I will title this era the Era of Radio Silence. The raid took up a lot of Xenovius' energy alongside the back-to-back part edition updates as far as I can tell. I get it. Back on topic, ACR made a whoopsie-daisy on September 21st of 2021 by inviting controversial player Kit Rowe into their ranks. He was banned literally 6 days after by me, as I moderated ACR then, with reasons being overall toxicity towards players, exploiting, and randomly killing people who were not fighting him. Random killing will be a driving force of factions akin to HA and ACR, so keep that in the back of your mind as well. On a darker tone, On September 29th, 2021, a friend of mine, who will remain anonymous, claims to have been groomed by the main culprit of the first Great Lag Bomb raid. The anonymous friend alleges that the guy sent highly sexually explicit message over Discord and proceeded to flee by deleting his own Discord account. I tried to get evidence of this, however the anonymous person immediately blocked the man and closed the DM, basically erasing the evidence. This is all alleged, but considering how much this happens on Roblox and how trusted the friend was at the time, this got the guy from the first Great Lag Bomb raid to be hunted down practically everywhere he went once the word spread. He was even almost immediately banned when he joined Elite Engineering and did what he always did in B&D, being overall pretty weird. On a bit lighter note, October 13th saw Paco stepping away from the B&D community, though he did return later. With what was going on, I understand. October 19th saw the creation of the B&D Building School Discord server made to educate people on how to build, hosted by the player Grumpy Swilly. Pretty cool stuff. October 23rd, 2021 held a pretty important clearing up of some misconceptions in the community during the time. For a while, factions like ACR and HA have heard of a mysterious APOC group that was full of people who were kind of making the game semi-unplayable on public servers through cancers and even lag bombing runs. They hunted them down and eventually found APOC Core, a group that is similar in name alone. The group was actually similar to the HA, however they did not care about keeping suits at a certain power level. They also focused at the time on building, but the ACR and HA misunderstood completely what they were and went on a witch hunt against the faction. Basically, a giant drama-fueled faction war was declared, but the owner of HA, Gilad 1, decided to get into contact with the owner of APOC Core, Bob Jibel 1. They arranged a duel between their factions on a private server, and afterwards Gilad asked Bob about APOC Core, and that's when we all realized that we drew up pitchforks for nothing. Afterwards, APOC Core became allies with the HA and ACR, since multiple ACR members were also in HA monitoring activities for significant threats. Not too long afterwards, on the 28th, the infamous Chipotle and Roblox outage happened due to ransomware. It was down for around a week. I was fine, but some were experiencing B&D withdrawal. November 10th had the first timeline-noted raid caused by a YouTuber, though it was not really a raid, but an influx of viewers trying out B&D. Spanish Roblox YouTuber Ayana made a game rating video going through multiple games, and he rated B&D decently. This caused many Spanish-speaking players to join B&D and try out the starter mech build, accessible through the cloud. The tight-knit player base was hostile towards these newcomers, and many quit playing after day one. I'm still disappointed by how we acted, but considering how deep in the pool of drama many were, I can see how this could have just been concerns over another bad kind of raid. Doesn't mean I agree, but I can see, sort of, why B&D's player base reacted as it did. The Spanish mech starter inquisition ended, and nothing happened in December. That was noteworthy. Onwards to a better year, it's gotta be cool!